we've got the suction pump from the tank to the suction line, which is the blue line coming in from the tanks, from the 4 tanks, and then we've got the suction pump there with the pressure vessel. That's a 60 litre pressure vessel that's been pre-charged by 1.9 bar according to factory settings. And then we have a pump here, which is a 1.5 kilowatt pump delivering about 5 bars, and it delivers, it's got a flow of 150 litres per minute, which is quite substantial for any house. And then on the pump we've got a pressure gauge just to indicate what the pressures are at. Where we at now? There we go. That's the pressure gauge. Currently the entire system is sitting at 3.5 bar, and then right next to it we've got the controller switch. That controller switch has got a start and it's got a pump stop. The start, it's a predetermined pressure that we can set. We've set it at approximately 1.5 bar. As soon as the pressure drops, when a tap has been opened on the house, the pressure starts dropping. The pressure vessel supplies that pressure to the house, and it continually drops up until 1.5 bar, and then our controller switch turns the pump on and it produces the 5 bar pressure that we require. It will, once the tap is closed, the pump continuously runs up until the 3.5 bar pressure, and this controller switch turns the power off, so the pump is not working so much. On the pump we've got running through a meter here. It's a flow meter, and it's being monitored by LAN, so it doesn't matter where you're at, you can actually see what the flow rate is and what the water usage is on each of these flow meters. We've got 3 here. The one in the middle is for the pump. That would determine how much water you're using from Cipher water. The one on the right hand side is from the municipal mains. The municipal mains are entering at the bottom there with a non-return valve to prevent the Cipher water to contaminate or to mix with the municipal system, which is quite important. That water that comes from the municipality goes through the water meter, which is on the right there, and that's also being monitored. And then we've got a third flow meter in for fire purposes. So in the event of any fire, we've got that there. It's hooked up with a sprinkler system. It determines how much water you're using for any fire and in any event, just for monitoring purposes. And once there's a fire, obviously the whole system comes on and it runs through the house on the sprinkler system. We've got a whole manifold set up here, and then again the tap in the middle is for the pump. It's in an open position at the moment. You've got the fire hydrants on the left, and you've got the municipal water on the right. And then we've got a 4th tap and a 5th tap here, a 6th tap there. So this is just to run the water in a way which you would like to manage it. If you want to turn off the pump, you can close the tap there. It means the pump stays redundant. Municipal water comes in, you close the tap there, and you open the 2nd tap. It runs through the pipelines and it goes directly to the pressure regulator, which is the pressure regulator for the house. All the water goes through this pressure regulator. The pressure regulator is set at 4 bar pressure, which means the household is running on 4 bar. It doesn't matter on which tap you open. how far from the position from the inlet position it is. The whole system is under 4 bar pressure with an overflow, so that overflow goes to the outside again. That goes through our system here, and the pipe runs up to our triple action filter. Basically these filters are 2 sediment filters, 1/10 and a 5 microns, and a carbon filter. Once it's passed through this filter, it goes through a UV light, and this UV light kills any organic matter, bacteria, viral, anything that runs through this UV filter. It kills it, so that you've got sterile water coming out of the system, and it runs all the way back into the house. So that's the mains that you've got there, that's the mains inlet, so that's the to the house. So you've got the house there, you've got cipher water and municipal water hooked up to the house here, and it's been sterilized. And on the line here, as you can see at the maybe I can show you a little bit clearer. You've got the pressure regulator here. The mains water and the pump water comes through here. You can actually close this tap here, and you can cut the whole system out. If you're running on mains only, you can close this tap, and you can run on municipal water. You open this tap, and it bypasses the filter bank, and it goes up directly into the house as if it was before we installed this the system. And on this line, which is the feed towards the house from the filter bank, is a non-return valve which prevents the municipal water to push back onto the system. So in short, that's basically what we've done here. And then on the UV light, we've got its controller box, and on the controller box we've got 2 green lights there to indicate everything's working well, and we've got a time set monitor right there. It keeps on running, so it tells you that how many hours the light has been working up until now, 91 hours. And then to manage this water system on the pumps, we've got a DCU, which is a distant control unit. The distant control unit is basically a relay with a contactor. Contactor is in, the relay is on, and there is power on the system. So what that means is the submersible pump is on at the moment. So once the water is full in on the tank here, the float switch which is on the submersible pump turns the pump on, and it pushes the water to the main tanks. Once the tanks on the inside in the cellar is full, and we would like to turn the pump off inside this tank, the relay kicks out, which means the contactor comes out and it breaks a circuit which stops the pump from delivering water to the main tanks, even if this tank is full. And this tank has got an overflow which goes back to the gully, and then we've got enough water, and it runs as per normal. So that basically in short is the system. And the one last thing that we've got is the sonar meter, which is the level indicator of the tanks. It's a product of Jojo Tank. Gives you an indication of how much water is in the system. So at the moment it's just under half, so we've got about 10,000 liters of water harvested at the moment since the installation. So the installation was completed on Wednesday last week, and today is Sunday, so about 4 days time we've collected enough water with the help of some rain. And basically that's our system. Hopefully that will inspire you guys to become more self-reliant and to use your water from the area in a more sensible way. My name is JD and I'm from the company Off-Grid Construction, and if you want to contact us you can go to our website, which is www.offgridsystems.co.za. Thank you for watching.